Hello everyone, this is Zinia. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to make a tutorial on being inspired by Erin Joy about this watercolor plate palette for your travel notebook in this standard size. I'm using this Peerless bonus pack. There are 40 colors inside and they are I will link them down below where I got this from, and so that you guys can also purchase it and make this tutorial on your own. This is super easy to be made. Just this works like a normal insert after you have made it. You just need to open it up in the middle, and then you just have to slot it in the plastic. In the elastic. Like this. You just need to slot it in the elastic, and then you could it's very convenient that you could bring it during your vacation, and you can just start using the watercolor when you want to journal instead of bringing all the big tubes. And then yeah, so let's get started. First of all, we need to use this watercolor paper that I've already trimmed it down to the travel notebook standard size, and I use it to measure it again using my previous palette that I have made, and to check if the size is the same. So this will be using as the water palette insert. And then the next is this punch, the circle punch that I have. I'm not sure what the size is. I have to check it, and I will link it down below in the description box again. And this punch is circle punch, where I use this Peerless watercolor, and then I punch a hole. And there you go, and it will come out with these circle shapes where I use to create this whole watercolor palette insert for my travel notebook. I actually made all these beforehand so that I could make this video as soon as possible. You have an idea of how I use this circle punch to punch each of them, and I arrange this color accordingly. Similar to the previous one, but some color have been misplaced as well, so it's roughly the same. And I'm gonna place this on the I'm gonna place this on this watercolor paper. I'm gonna place it in a row, and then I want to leave a gap in the middle because for me to staple it later, and I can fold into half as well. Later then I actually realized that I could actually use a ruler, as you see, to make them align together so that they won't go up and down all the way. I slightly adjust, and then I use this glue tape to tape it at the back of the circle, and then I place it on the watercolor paper again, and then I use the ruler to actually measure it like what I have done previously, using it to arrange it so that it won't go all everywhere. It will go according with a one straight line instead. So I do the first row each by glue taping them side by side, and then not to forget to leave a gap in the middle so that I could fold it later and staple them and became a booklet. So after I've done the first row, I actually went to the last row first instead of the second row because I think that if I do the last row, I will actually can estimate the space better instead of like if I go on with the second row, it will make me have an extra space at the end, so later I have to redo everything again. So I think it will be better to start with the last row and then all the way up again. So there we go, we have done glue sticking them at the back and they are secure in this watercolor paper. And then the next step is that we should fold it into half to make sure that there's no dropping out of anything. Follow up, I'm using these two pieces of plastic sheets. I cut it out from A4 size and then I trimmed them into travel notebook sizes again. I got this from my local bookstore. I'm sure you can get it from anywhere near your locations. And I placed these plastic sheets to protect my watercolor to not blend it together when I'm using them. So I use the washi tape and then tape one piece, one of these piece plastic sheets in this with this watercolor paper on this watercolor paper, and then I trim off the acid washi tape, and then I repeat again for the other side. For the other sheets of the plastic sheets for the other side of the watercolor palette, and then stick it again with the washi tape. After I've sticked these two sheets of the plastic sheets, I then going to use this aqua brush that I got it from Amazon. I'm going to make the swatch of each colors on this watercolor paper below all these circle shapes, and then I could refer it to in the future when I want to use them and I know which color, how they look like for each color. So after finishing the swatch, I'm going to leave it to dry for about 1 minute, and then I'm picking this dashboard that I made it. I've listed this on my shop, and these are the standard size. I have also in personal size, and if you want to know what is a dashboard for, I actually made a video and explain how to use this dashboard. I will link them down below again, and I actually end up to choosing this Hello dashboard, and I measure it to see if it fits together if I insert this watercolor palette into with this dashboard. It fits in perfectly, and then I go ahead and realize that I need to corner punch my watercolor palette. I use this baggy from Project Life, and then I corner punch all the 4 corners. After I have done corner punching the watercolor palette, I realized that I need to staple my watercolor palette together with my dashboard. So I peel off the washi tape in the middle and then wipe off the acid of the watercolor that on my plastic, and then I take this Daiso Rotary Staple. This is super convenient when you are stapling a booklet. And then I use 2 pins to hold up my insert before I staple it, so that it will not move around during when I actually staple it. I put it one on the top and one in the below, and then I start stapling them, match them together, and then staple them. After I've done stapling, I use this washi tape again to washi in the middle, to tape it in the middle so that it will cover up the ugly staple mark. And then I realized that the corner, exit corner, I cut it off to match with the dashboard. And then flip it over. I use the cellophane tape to stick this staple mark so that it will not cut my hand in the future when I use them. I then use this glue tape to glue this watercolor palette into this dashboard, so when I want to flip to the watercolor palette, I can just flip it over as quick as possible instead of flipping it twice to reach the watercolor palette. I do the same for the back as well. Yay! So we are finally done with our watercolor palette insert, and this is my Zenidori unicorn where I used to keep all my brush lettering practices and my watercolor. When I distress, I stamp all the image in one booklet, and I slot this watercolor palette insert into my Zenidori unicorns where it's so convenient for me to bring it out, and I don't need to bring all the tubes that I mentioned before. And I will list down this watercolor palette in my shop. I will link my shop in the description box below so that you guys can check it out. And if I inspired you, and if you are creating this watercolor palette insert, do tag me on Instagram. I would love to see what you have created. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe me. And I hope to inspire you and get inspired from you as well. So I will see you soon, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.